Welcome back to the only political asylum application that you see online on YouTube. So we are going to find out that the whole ordeal, the whole plan was since my wife abused my little daughter, lovely daughter that night, was to get me in order that they get me to court, they get me through this, and they will execute the order of physical elimination of Saad Nawa. Crucifixion. This is the crucifixion of the United States. The crucifixion by the United States of Saad Nawa. You see, the plan was from the beginning, was fast, was supposed to be fast, but I had an attorney with me, so it delayed it. We're going to see that coward, illegal scenario that they were planning, that they planned. But Allah the Almighty does not want that plan to work. So the Judge O'Leary, gives me a return date where we are going to have a hearing on my response to my attorney's motion to withdraw. So it must be a hearing. There's a motion and there's a response. It must be a hearing. So they knew that there will be an order to do what? To grant the attorney's motion to withdraw. And then they are going to execute their cowardly attempt on my life. You be the judge. You just hear. I'm going to show you the truth. I try my best to show you the truth of what happened, and then you judge. You decide. You be the jury. Thank you for taking your time to be the jury. So on the return date, I get inside the court. I send my son to bring the attorney. Then, when I just passed the metal detector at the entrance of the courthouse, there were two waiting for me. Two persons. One of them was wearing sheriff deputy's uniform. The other one was wearing civilian uniform, civilian clothes. But the civilian one had a gun with him. The sheriff deputy with his uniform is not carrying a gun. But the other one that with civilian clothes, he was carrying a gun. What is going on? Inside the courtroom, inside the courthouse, security don't carry a gun. There's no need for that. But they were waiting for me, and that the one with the civilian clothes, he was not tall. He was maybe was 5'3", something like that, 5 feet 3 inches, something like that. And he was built, body built. So they knew that was, because they check your ID when you get to the courthouse, the metal detector. They check, they want to see that you have an ID, match it. And they were waiting for me. So I get into the elevator. The two followed me into the elevator. So when they were the last couple, the last people to enter the elevator. But before I went to the court thing was on the third floor. I had to stop on the second floor to file some kind of papers. So on the second floor, the elevator stopped. So I went to get out. The sheriff deputy, those the two security, whatever you call the other one, sheriff deputy. Let me call him sheriff deputy for now. So they were on the entrance, or at the end, or they were the last to enter the elevator. So I told them, excuse me, please. So I want to get out. So they get out. I get out. They followed me. They didn't go back in the elevator. So they were after me. I go to the clerk's office on the second floor. I filed some papers. I did something I don't recall. They were waiting for me. Then I got out of the clerk's office, waiting in the hallway by the elevator. And then there's two guys. I said, oh, today I have extra security with me. So I'm very well protected. So I was trying to break the ice, see what's going on. I want them to speak. They said, yeah, we want to be sure that the judge will treat you right. Then I get into the elevator. They followed me into the elevator. They asked me, or I asked them, how are you doing, sir? I said, oh, we're okay. How are you doing? I said, well, if the judges would follow the law, they would be in good shape. But the judges are not following the law. So that's why things are getting terrible. I said, don't worry, we are with you. We'll be sure that the judge will treat you right. I felt that there's something wrong. Something going on. Something fishy. I smell a rat. Welcome to the USA. You see how they plan? Like criminals. Criminals. That's what they are. So I go to the courtroom. I get out of the elevator, go to the courtroom. I look. I didn't see my lawyer. And then what happened? I get out. But when I got in, the one with the gun went to the clerk of the judge. You know, there's a clerk sitting next to the judge that she calls the cases. And that one with the gun, he went by the clerk, talking to the clerk, looking at me, pointing at me. So I said, well, more evidence that there is some coward thing is going on. You know, I know this court. And this was in 2006. This is what I'm telling you, in 2006. And my bad experience, attempts on my life was in 2002. But now I have to go because, you know, there is so-called criminal case and they will issue a arrest warrant if I don't go. But let them play the game that the way they want. And I'm going to show them this layman, what this layman is going to do to them. But that's for later. Now I'm talking about their coward attempt on my life. So when I don't see my lawyer there, I get out. When I get out of the courtroom, the other sheriff deputy without the gun was standing by the door. So I get out and trying to see what happened with the lawyer. Then the one inside with the gun, he didn't get out of the courtroom when I left the courtroom. But the one was standing by the courtroom, by the entrance of the courtroom, he got out. And I saw more sheriff deputies. So then, you know, I felt that something wrong is going on. And my heart started pumping up. I was going to faint. And then we'll see what happened.